Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Friday. We've made it to the weekend and we have gin and tonics to celebrate. Cheers guys. Hope you're all doing well. We are doing a Q&A today and at Ollie's request,
It's spicy.
spicy questions.
We don't know how spicy because we haven't looked at the questions yet.
No, we haven't been through, so we're going to try and do this as quickly as possible. Quick fire some of them. Hopefully they are not too juicy. Let's just jump straight into it, shall we?
Okay, hit me.
Here we go. I'd really appreciate knowing how you afforded to buy a beautiful property in your 20s. It's not easy, is it?
It's quite juicy.
Especially today, properties are so expensive. And we were pretty lucky for a number of reasons, but I think the number one factor, and like so many people, is obviously getting a mortgage and being able to afford to pay a mortgage and get a pretty decent mortgage.
Yeah, so I was quite lucky because I was contracting in London, which I was sacrificing holiday pay, sick cover, all of those types of things in lieu of more money. So it was a bit of a risk, but when you're younger, it's an okay risk to take. And also the industry that I was working in, the mortgage companies actually quite like, so they'll allow you to multiply your salary further than in different industries.
Yeah, so pretty good salaries out of uni, which meant that we could get a good mortgage, a hefty mortgage, one that we are paying for quite a few years. We're going to be
Many
old
years.
by the time that we pay off this mortgage.
I guess that is another big bit of it, isn't it? We've spread the mortgage payments a long time.
A long time.
And we thought long and hard about that, but it made sense because it means we can afford a larger house now and we can stay in it for longer.
Hopefully.
And it was a good buy, so it was worth stretching for.
So we hope in the long run. And then obviously deposit. And we were living in London at the time, and we did kind of make sure that we could have lived in a much nicer area than we lived, to be kind of frankly honest. We lived in some, not like rough, but not such nice parts of London.
It was like
East London we lived in, and it's
we
definitely
would
the
have
cheaper
preferred being
side.
west, but
Yeah, and we did sacrifice, when we showed some images and stuff from those flats. Way back when I did Instagram, we showed like the nice fireplace in the living room, but the kitchen was terrible, and
you never saw that.
yeah. So that was part and parcel with saving to get a deposit, and then we were really lucky that we did have family help also with the deposit, which is about equal on both sides.
Yeah, which made it a lot easier.
Yeah, to get on the property ladder nowadays is so difficult, and saving for that deposit is extremely hard, so...
Yeah, having even a bit of a helping hand is, it just makes the world of difference.
Yeah, really did. Next up, what part of the country is your house in?
Somerset.
Easy one. Really nosy, sorry. Do you have an income, Laura? Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. And I presume that maybe you mean, do I earn from YouTube? Do I do YouTube full time? Kind of, what do I do as a job? And as of now, I am full-time YouTube, which is amazing. Big thanks to you guys and the people who I can partner with on my videos. And pretty much we have, which I think makes it nice and simple, we have very similar salaries. I think probably a lot of my salary you probably will see. I do a lot of buying in the house, so everything that is kind of like bought is usually me purchasing. We share the mortgage 50-50.
Yep.
And then as well, we also both share the income of having and living with a lodger, which goes to all of our bills, which actually our bills are quite expensive, so it covers...
Yeah, it's really helpful.
It covers our bills and we don't have a lot left other than that. So bills not including our mortgage. And so, yeah, that's my full-time job. Prior to that, I was working, when I first started YouTube, how long have I been doing YouTube now? 3 years?
Yeah.
I think probably about 3 years. When I first started, I was working full-time in London, and then I worked part-time when I came back, and then I had a period where there was kind of like, I was trying to transition, and now YouTube has picked up, which is amazing. Very, very thankful, and thank you to you guys for that too. Because actually, without you, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here filming this. I am seeing a lot of questions, which we've definitely answered before. Would you like children? Would you like children soon?
Yes. Yes. A few?
Yep, short answer is yes. Probably not until we're married now, which is next summer. So sometime after that.
Watch this space.
We'll let you guys know.
What have you got?
Who is most likely to initiate an argument? I definitely know the answer to this one, but I'm going to let you answer it.
I would say,
Oh, he's being careful with what he says in this one.
I probably push it to the brink of an argument, but I technically wouldn't class it as an argument yet, and then you then turn it into an argument.
Yeah.
But that might just be my perspective.
Yeah, I'd probably say me. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fairness, yes, me.
But I definitely prod you in like the wrong direction.
He does, yeah. Doesn't everybody have somebody like that in their life though?
Any luck finding a wedding venue you both really love? Will you be sharing any fun teasers?
Ooh, we have had a little bit of a kerfuffle with our wedding. We nearly made a decision and then the venue let us down. And now
We found a new venue.
we have gone for a very different plan B, and I'm excited to tell you guys about it
But
very
nothing,
soon.
Nothing yet.
And we will let you guys know. Yeah, we're basically just about booking the day. So exciting though.
And we do really both love it. So
We really love it.
it's really exciting.
So exciting.
How much have you and Ollie spent on renovations so far?
Oosh. A painful question.
Oof.
So we actually haven't tallied up, which we should, but we know
We knew
an
the-
around about figure.
Yeah, we knew the big ticket items.
Yeah.
So we spent about 6-7 on the
Boiler.
and other plumbing works. We spent a couple of grand on a bathroom, and then plastering ended up being a lot more than we thought.
Yeah,
So
but it was moving walls and
it was a lot of work.
yeah, it was a huge amount of work, and also we did the electrics. So
Electrics.
it's about around the £20,000 mark at this point, which sounds. I mean, if you'd have told us that when we had first bought the property, we would have been like, no way.
Yeah, way more than we expected.
But
But at the same time, that is the whole top floor of the property and like the central heating to do the rest of the house.
yes, yeah. Is that a lot? It is a lot, isn't it? And that's with doing it cheaply as well.
Bayside is so annoying. Biggest regret in the renovations so far?
Oh, this is a hard one.
I
I feel like we've kind of answered some of these already, but what would be up to date?
biggest regret. I guess for me, there's kind of two.
Mm-hmm.
It's how kind of haphazardly we've done the work, because we've kind of like we've done a bit here, a bit there. We've started jobs, we haven't finished them,
Yeah.
and also the fact that sometimes we're going over and redoing work that we've already done, but every time we've done that, it's been for a good reason. So
Yeah.
it's difficult, but at the same time, it's worth it.
Yes. I think that kind of links into as well how much we've spent on the house, and with redoing work, 'cause we obviously did the bottom floor, but to give some kind of idea, having the lodger in for the last 2 years has paid for nearly, I think it's about at least 3/4 of the whole 20,000. So as much as it was painful to do that work once, it's allowed us to do the boiler and the electrics and this top floor and like a huge amount of work that we maybe wouldn't have been able to afford. So it's like, you know.
Yeah, we definitely worked out the figures to start with, and it was the right thing to do. Though some people think it's mad, like you're doing it again, but
Yeah.
there is method behind the madness.
Yes.
How much of a feminist are you both?
Oh, that's a really hard one to kind of like
We're so
pinpoint and
mixed.
say exactly where you are. Like, is there a line?
I very much expect sometimes Laura to do exactly the same stuff as me, so in that way we're quite equal.
He does. Sometimes I'm a bit like, you realise I am just not as
Half the
strong as
size.
you. Like, I just can't physically lift that. And he's like, yeah, you can.
It's where she does.
And I do, yeah, most of the time. But I'd say, yeah, if we're relating it to us and like how we live together, Ollie is an amazing supporter, and anything that I'd want to do career-wise, whatever in my life, you're really supportive. There's
Yeah,
definitely not a like, you stay at home and you do the housework.
Yeah.
at all in our relationship, and we're very equal in our relationship, I'd say. But that might be partly luck, like where we are in our jobs and our careers is semi-equal, and what we want in life is quite equal, so maybe it's pretty easy that we are
Kind of balancing each of our priorities.
yeah
Yeah.
But definitely as far as housework,
I have a higher tolerance for dirt.
Ollie definitely takes a little nudge, like he just doesn't really see that the bedding needs changing, or you know, the dishwasher needs emptying, or yeah, he needs like, really we should have a little chore list for you. But
Do you set budgets for each room, or do you just get what you want and spread the costs? We don't set a budget, we get what we want. However, if we splurged, then we will cut back on a different area. So really nice light,
That's not
second-hand
true.
chest of drawers.
that's not true.
Why?
So Ollie doesn't do any of the researching or buying or
Okay, if Laura
decision making.
If Laura shows me a really nice lamp and I say yes, then when she starts showing
I
me a really
set
nice
budgets.
chest of drawers, then I'm like, maybe not.
I definitely set budgets. I've set budgets for nearly all of the rooms, I feel. But to be honest, it's not like a really strict, like sometimes I go over, sometimes I go under. It's just like, it's more of a challenge, I think. And I think that's a really good thing to do, because it makes you think about what you're spending and whether you actually want to splurge in some places. But as far as splurging and saving, it's really just to do with what is on the market at the time and what I can find secondhand, and it changes all of the time. So it's not necessarily like I have an item that I always get cheap. It changes from every room and every item.
I don't like budgets. I do, but sometimes I don't.
I don't think you really found anything for the house though, my love.
I've helped decide on things.
Apart from the wood, like,
Yeah, I'm good at that bit.
and the nails and the screws. You pick all of that.
The bits that hold the house together. Top tips for living in a reno and doing it all yourself on a budget, like you, and then following on, and how to keep the romance alive at the same time.
Oh.
I would say, since coming up here, moving up to top floor, don't neglect the room that you're living in, because
We did that.
We neglected it, and it wasn't until we moved up here that I think we realised how much it affected us. But having a not particularly nice bedroom was just bad, so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I'd probably say a few things though. Don't sweat like it being a bit untidy and it being a bit dusty. You're gonna be living in it. At the beginning of the renovation, I was spending every evening hoovering and dusting and tidying, and I very quickly learned, like, I am never gonna keep up with this. So in a way, you've just gotta let it go, and you've also just gotta live with it, which I know is difficult. Try and contain it to bedrooms that, like, we've got right now. Our master bedroom is a bit of a disaster zone, and as you guys have seen through the process, that room has changed. It was our dining room, then it was the red room, which is now the green room, now it's the master bedroom. So we kind of try and contain it as much as we possibly can.
Designated disaster zone.
Yeah, and as far as keeping the romance alive during it, it's hard. You're tired, you're constantly busy, you don't get a lot of downtime.
Dirty a lot of the time.
Keep clean. No, I don't know why Ollie was saying about him being dirty, but my advice would be, don't worry about it to a certain extent. If you're with the person you love, enjoy doing up your beautiful home, be in the moment, have a laugh, have a drink whilst you're doing the renovation, try and enjoy where you are, because
There'll be time for date night once you've got some things done.
there's loads of time.
Yeah. Okay, would you ever have Botox? Not that I think you need it at all, just curious on your opinion.
How do you feel about it? I think I'm a little bit on the fence, partly because I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Like, it's not something that is on my radar, it's not something that I particularly think about, and so I don't know, I haven't really thought about it at all. Having said that, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't say that I'm definitely not going to get it. However, I really love following people who embrace growing old gracefully and not getting any work done. I think it's so refreshing. It is so difficult for people online because you have to see yourself on camera every week, and let me tell you, that is not fun. But I hope to keep as natural as possible. I've never had any work done. And to be honest, I'm quite low maintenance as far as beauty.
It's like not ruling it out, but not exactly that interested right now.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm just not that concerned about it, to be honest. It's not something that I think about at all. And that's not because I think that I am so beautiful that I don't need it. It's just that I just don't know. You gonna get Botox?
Don't know. Don't think so. I don't. You definitely. We watched that program, didn't we, a while ago? That was like something about. What was it called?
I don't remember.
There was definitely people on there that had Botox, and you're like, it definitely gone too far.
Yes.
But I think it is something that could be used within reason and have good results, but it's dangerous. I can see why it's addictive.
Yeah, and I think there is that thing with it, is that the grass is always greener on the other side, and you know.
Yeah, slippery slope.
Maybe we should think about a bit of pre-wedding Botox though.
Yeah.
Can you imagine us in our photos? I love you.
You wouldn't be able to cry because your tear ducts will be like disabled. Do you ever regret taking on such a big house project?
No. However, I'd definitely be lying if I said that I hadn't thought about it. I don't vocalise it out loud, but every now and then, sometimes I'm like, what would our life have been like if we had bought a new build? And then I imagine our life in a new build and I'm like, we did the right thing. We're 100% on track. Why did I even think that? Like, this isn't just the most beautiful house. But like everything in life, you're gonna have when, you know, stuff gets bad, you're gonna have a moment where you think, was this the right decision?
What have we done?
Did we do the right thing?
It's hard work though. That makes it sound like we're all like really confident all the time. It is hard.
It is, yeah.
But good things are hard work. Or that's not the saying. What's the saying?
I don't know, I'm
Good
terrible
things
at
come
saying,
to
do you
those
know
who
that?
wait. Like, we're not waiting, we're working. Anyway, it's worth the effort.
We hope.
Why would you plan on moving again within 10 to 15 years' time? You mentioned that once.
Yeah, lots of people ask this, why would we ever move from this house when we put so much work into it and when it's so perfect? And I think the answer to this is, we don't see ourselves moving from it. I am so emotionally invested in this house, it's a little bit ridiculous. But we are sensible Sallys. To the extreme, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are that couple that, like, unless putting a gold bath in the house is going to increase it by the amount that we put it in for, we're not going to put it in. And so when we kind of say, oh, we're wondering whether, you know, the salon value will be the same, it's because we just can't,
We don't ever want to do anything to the property for us that would then not make sense if we came to sell it.
Yeah.
Because the house is everything we need and it's perfect. But at the same time, we never owned a house before. So within a couple of years of living in it, we're like, oh, if we could change something, there are some things we would change.
And you just don't know in life, like, our situation could totally change and we might not be able to keep the house. So we're just sensible. I mean, maybe too much so, but when we talk about the master bedroom plans and wanting to keep the room, that's because if we turned it into this, like, outrageous master suite, if we had to sell it the next year, we'd lose a lot of money, so...
Yeah. Unless someone really liked our designs, then...
I mean, a lot of people probably want a bougie master suite, but anyway.
A bedroom's worth a lot of money, so...
We don't plan on moving anytime.
We just like to be sensible. What does he do that really makes you angry? Or is that because I've been married too long?
Oh, one thing. Let me think about this. What do you do that really makes me angry? Really makes me
What
angry?
do I do?
Yeah.
Don't tidy stuff away.
What really makes me angry?
Don't listen to you.
Ollie forgets things. So it's not maliciously. It's not because he wants to, but he forgets everything. So he doesn't remember dates. There's been multiple times when he like called me one day from work And he was so excited, and I was like, oh, you know when you really want to be excited for somebody. And he was like, oh, finally got on this training course. And I was like, oh, amazing, that's so cool. And when are you going? And he was like, March the 5th to the 7th. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, didn't want to be like, you realise that's my birthday? And he just had no idea. Like, we'd been together for years. We were living together at this point, and it had just like gone straight over his head. And it wasn't because he booked, like, basically he could book the trip. It's not like he was just well, you were kind of chosen for it.
It was it was a course I really wanted to get on.
Yeah.
And basically my approach to it was, whatever date they say, I'm gonna do it. I didn't think it was gonna be your birthday, so whenever they said what the dates were, I was just like, yeah, mindlessly, yeah, great, I'll do it, cool.
Yeah, but it wasn't even the fact it was my birthday. It's just the fact that I'm like, did you think about me at that point?
Just didn't even register.
Yeah, he just didn't. And of course he went, because he wanted to go on that
Paid
course.
for that so hard.
He didn't really. I got to go to Lisbon with my parents, and it was lovely, but yeah, probably forgetting things, which isn't really his fault, but you forget a lot of things.
I'm quite forgetful. I tell Siri everything, otherwise I just won't remember a thing.
Do you remember my name?
Yes.
When is our anniversary?
12th of the 12th, 20.
No, that's not our anniversary.
Oh.
You're so sure. That's the date that we got engaged. That's because you got that wrong the other day.
Our anniversary is the 24th of January, 2014.
Yeah. When's my birthday?
The 6th of March. I get the numbers mixed up on that one. How do you find day-to-day living with a lodger? Really good.
We genuinely, like I've said this so many times, but we genuinely have either been lucky, because I feel like when people ask this, either they're curious as to they want to do it and they're like, what is it actually like?
How does it really work?
Or they just genuinely think that it must be the most terrible thing ever. But as far as our experience, which may have been very different, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, we're probably going to stop it when we have kids, but if I could carry it on forever,
Yeah, it's really nice.
I would. But obviously it's the time in the life that we're in. We're young. We've got in mostly people our age. We've got a lovely girl in right now who is so nice. Like, how could we pick somebody better? I just don't even know. And she landed on our doorstep, which we are so
Very
thankful
grateful
for. Yeah, she's been here about 8 months now.
Yeah, about that.
And as far as our relationship, like, we try and like not be too overly friendly, so that they don't feel like if something went wrong, they could come to us and kind of say, hey, can you fix this, or this isn't okay. But super friendly, like we chat in the kitchen. She got me donut time donuts for my birthday, and they were so good. Just like, that's the kind of relationship that we have, and it's
Good, it works well.
really good. Yeah, for now.
Any decor trends that make you cringe?
No, because I'd be the worst interior designer. Everybody's like, you should be an interior designer. I'd be the worst, because I'm like, you love it, you have it. You want a cat on your pillow, you go for it. Like, anything that you want, whatever makes you happy, have it in your home. So, no.
I think we disagree on this.
Oh, really?
I very much feel that a house, although you can put your own stamp on a house, the property should kind of dictate the style. So if you've got like a 60s property, don't go putting like Victorian paneling all over it, because it will look stupid. Like, it suits.
I kind of don't know if I agree with that,
but like when we were looking at the flat in London that we were going to buy, that was going to have a super different look to what we've gone for in here.
Yeah.
This house is kind of telling us what it needs.
What was that, 60s, 70s?
Yeah, that was 60s, 70s.
Very
it was
block.
Much more like minimal, clean lines.
Yeah.
I think like kind of minimal hotel look.
Yeah, if you'd have gone for like French paneling in there, it would have probably looked a bit ridiculous. But at the same time, I think you can pull it off. And if you're living in it, live in it and enjoy it.
Differences.
Maybe don't sell it online that though.
Yeah, don't make any permanent changes. I guess that's quite a lot of what we do.
Any more spicy ones?
Yeah. Oh yeah, super spicy. When you guys get a pup, are you looking for a specific breed? Please adopt. We would love to adopt, wouldn't we?
We're not getting anytime soon. Don't get excited.
We really want one.
But we watch a program. What's it called?
Is that a dog house? Dog home?
I cry every episode the whole way through. I could even cry thinking about it now.
It's cute.
It just makes me so happy. But after watching that program, we did look at kind of like RSPCA and other places, and it just seemed like it was going to be so difficult to adopt a dog.
Yeah.
For like, we want kids, and
finding one that is well adjusted and that we could really feel 100% safe with kids seemed extremely difficult.
Dogs in the family, we've got, our neighbours have dogs, and so many of them were like, can't go near other dogs. So
I think we'll probably end up having to get a puppy for our first dog.
Yeah.
But then maybe when the kids are older, it would be really nice to adopt.
We'll definitely look, but it depends what we can find. I'd love to adopt an older dog, but
Oh yeah, some of the old ones are like
I know. It's whether they'd fit into our home.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Biggest disagreement in the renovation so far? We don't disagree on much. That's kind of...
Come on, we must have disagreed on something. I feel like probably, it's not arguments, but it's probably the thing that we disagree on the most. And that is that I'm probably more willing to get in help. And Ollie would do everything himself. However, it's not always the sensible thing to do. For example, we had the 2 tree stumps in the garden, which you guys won't have known, but they have been taken out. And I said to him time and time again, I was like, we should just like get in some quotes to see how much it would be. And he was like, no, we'll definitely hire it. It's going to be like £100 for the day, 200 quid for the weekend. We just spent our whole weekend doing it. And then we got somebody in. He was amazing. He turned up at the door. He did it in like 2 hours.
Didn't you? You phoned me at lunchtime. I was like, there's a guy here to look at the stump. I was like, I didn't even know he was coming. And he looked at it, he told us how much it'd be, and then he was like, I can do it now. And it's like, yeah, by the time I got home, it's gone.
Yeah.
Such, like, the best choice.
Yeah, but with anything in the renovation, I'll be like, we should get in quotes first. And I was like, we'll just do it ourselves without even really thinking about how long it's going to take us.
Yeah,
and how much time and effort it's going to be.
That's probably the most contention we have.
Yeah.
It's just repeated, but
yeah,
it's not too bad.
If we've moved, we've had a battery change, the light's changing, we've got a fan on now because it's so hot in here, but hopefully you're still with us. What are we going to answer next?
So, are you from a privileged background?
Well, again, that one's always kind of like a sliding scale. And Ollie and I are actually from really similar backgrounds. So both our parents had not a lot.
Yeah.
Really not a lot. But both built self-employed careers that did very well.
Yeah.
And pushed for our lives to be better. And I think that's a big reason as to why we are like what we are. Why our house is like it is. Why we like have things, but then like we are...
Stretches.
Yeah, we are stretches. We like come from that generation that has, you know, pushing forward, at least trying.
They set high goals for themselves and they got there, and we've kind of inherited that. We set high goals for ourselves and we work until we reach them. Yeah,
but as far as like we both went to private school, I went to boarding school because I got an amazing swimming scholarship. I was a swimmer and I went to a swimming academy, so that's the reason that I could go there. And
I didn't get a scholarship.
No. Ollie was from private school when he was a little dinky boy up until he basically finished.
Yeah.
So we both got really good educations, and we were really not just like went to private school, because a lot of people can go to private school and don't have family support like backing them, but we had a huge amount of family support and love and encouragement to do what we wanted, encourage us to go to university. They obviously, as we said, kind of like help with the house, so yeah, hugely.
Very privileged.
Yeah.
Important to address that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm taking it away from the PG a little bit here. Did you guys decide to wait until marriage?
No.
We didn't wait. Did we wait a night? We didn't wait one night.
No.
Sorry guys, if that's burst your bubble a little bit. Yeah. Right, I feel like we've answered most of the repetitive ones, and hopefully some which were a little bit interesting to you guys. What is your goal for the next 5 years? I think we'll end on that one. Let's see if we achieve it. Actually, I feel like this one's quite easy because where we are right now, I feel like a lot
got
is
some
happening in the
big
next
stuff
5
happening.
years. It's probably like the most exciting time of our lives. We're going to be getting married next year.
Hopefully starting family.
Yeah, and then we're hoping to do the middle floor renovations, which is going to be like one of the main rooms in the house, which I think will be such a fun project to do.
Maybe we might be able to start the extension.
Yeah, definitely going to be getting a dog in 5 years.
Yeah.
For sure. So really expanding our family. I'm going to be hopefully starting a bit of another business. Kind of like going back to my roots a little bit maybe on that one. Yeah, so many exciting things to happen.
There's lots of big bits.
Huge amount, isn't there? And we're both Ollie's turning 30 this year. I'm turning 30 next year. So hopefully we'll be doing some exciting things. I would love to travel again. Hoping
Go visit some nice places.
that we can put in a few nice holidays in the next 5 years. But yeah, it's definitely an exciting time of our lives, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we will end it there because I feel like we have chatted on for far too long, and I hope that some of those were interesting to you guys. And we'll catch you next week. Well, actually, probably I'll catch you next week because next week is going to be a homeware haul.
Exciting.
And then we've got lots of makeovers coming. So actually that should be hopefully something you guys will be interested in. Thanks for sticking around. You gonna say anything? You'll be very quiet over there.
I leave the sign off bits to you.
Okay. We will see you guys next week. Hope you're all well.
Bye.
Bye.